Right, that looks like it's going okay. Let me just check if the stream's still showing things. The microphone looks like that's all working. This thing, wrong place, wrong tab, this tab, into this tab, into this page. And am I on the screen? Yes, I am. Cool. Hi guys. So let's do some more Umineko, I guess. I just want to, I, you know, I guess I just really want to feel like I'm making progress here, especially because last time I feel like I didn't really learn much at all last week. So I want to make some progress because, yeah, I don't even really remember what happened in the last few episodes. It's just been lots of random bullshit happening. And I will say, over the week, I realized one thing, and that is that, the whole thing, at least from what I'd always heard about these games, is that, like, the first four episodes are the question arcs, the next four episodes are the answers arcs, and like the question arcs and the answers arcs are like kind of related to each other. And I didn't really feel that way in episode 5, but I feel like this in episode 6 because it's kind of like explaining episode 2, or at least it shares a lot of thematic similarities to episode 2 because basically episode 2 was all about the love stories and this one's all about the love stories. But I will say, just thinking about it, it's like on the one hand I'm like more eager to play it, but on the other hand I'm feeling like I'm getting less patient because the more I play this game, the more I realize that basically the details don't really matter. I mean, they do actually, they matter in some ways, it's how you learn new things about the characters and the world and all that kind of thing. But, you know, from what I'm understanding, and I mean, maybe there could even be another twist in this, but I'm not sure about that. But basically, how this whole thing started is that there is this scenario, this story of that's going on that people heard about, where all the members of the Ushiramiya family go to a family conference, and then a storm hits. And once the storm is over, when the seagulls cry, Umineko no Koro ni, uh, like the actual meaning of the story, when the storm is over and when the seagulls cry, nobody is left alive. And what essentially this game is, and the plot of what this game is basically a bunch of witches who I don't even know if witches are even a real thing or they're just like a metaphor for something. But basically, the witches are basically just they're playing a game where they just essentially write a story. They write a story of what theoretically could have happened on Rokkenjima in those events, and because nobody was there alive to witness it, nobody can tell them like, oh no, that's not what happened. And but then from that point onwards, I'm not exactly sure. I don't really know why they're doing the game, what the point of the game is, who wins and loses the game, if it actually affects anything. Um, so and then the other thing about this sort of theory, my interpretation of what's going on as well, is that there's two like things that do happen in Umineko that just kind of confuses it. One of them is that I'm just realizing is it not aligned to the okay, whatever. I'll just assume it is. Yeah, there's two things. One of them is that at the end of the first game, there's like a little like dialogue thing saying that eventually there's like a bottle like a message in a bottle like washes ashore where it details the events of what actually happened and it says that it was signed by Maria. So in that case, it would be like then maybe Maria did survive, maybe not everybody did die, maybe somebody is actually alive to witness the tale. And then the other thing is in episode 3, Eva survives, and that's kind of the whole thing. What about 2? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, episode 3, Eva survives the whole thing, and she's a survivor, and she does know what happened, even if she maybe missed the part where everybody died or something. So, and like then there's this whole thing with Ange and whatever. So I don't know if all of these things actually did then happen in the real world, or if this is just another metaphor inside of another metaphor. Because, like, Ange is now here, and she is with one of the other witches, who is basically just the witch of fucking spectating, who's just watching, and maybe she also tells some of these stories in the real world, or in the witch world, or in the. It's quite confusing, and it doesn't help that, in this episode there's just a lot of like, okay, now y- a bunch of demons are challenging Shannon and George and Canon and Jessica to show like who cares more about their love, and to show if they're willing to kill people for the sake of their love in another timeline, or it's just metaphorically. I don't know. Last time we left off, it was Jessica's turn, and she just has to kill Kyrie to show how dedicated she is to making sure that she will stay with Canon for the rest of her life. It's very weird. I don't know. I don't understand anything. But I guess I have no choice but to keep reading. Aunt Kyrie, I'm sorry, but you've only got your bad luck to blame. Jessica's related fate is chosen Kyrie. What will you do? Oh, you may reject the choice and spin the roulette again if you want. Doesn't matter whose life is sacrificed for this trial. You make a good point. Umineko at times does have it tricky to keep track of some of it and how relevant it is. Yeah, well, like that's the thing. The more I play Umineko, the more I'm starting to realize some of these things aren't actually meant to be taken literally. It's just like a metaphor for something. But they don't necessarily tell you what the metaphor that they're saying is. They just kind of leave it up to you to kind of piece things together. Except for the parts where Ange is like literally going to the audience and being like, "Hey, I don't know, I never understood this part. What do they mean by this?" And then Featherine's like, "Yes, it's a metaphor." And then she's like, "Oh, okay, got it." What is it? Do you have something to say to me? Would it really be okay to sell her soul to demons for the sake of love? It's true. Like, George would be the person to be like, yeah, I would sell my soul to the devil if it meant that I could be with Shannon. But, uh, and so it's like sort of showing that theoretically George could have murdered everybody if it meant that he could be together with Shannon. He could have been the culprit, but Jessica not. We'll see. Um, Maybe I shouldn't be asking you this, Aunt Kyrie. What is it? It's rare for you to ask me questions, Jessica-chan. Actually, I have someone I like. It's he. Oh, really? It's wonderful. And is it love he wants to talk about? Yeah, pretty much. Is it still one-sided? No, I guess you could say that it's just become mutual. But, well, there's this trial for us to be joined together. A trial. Now, what could that be? There's the two of us and another pair of lovers, and we have to fight each other. You mean a love triangle? Or is it a square? Sounds complicated. And only the pair who wins can be together. It's something complicated like that. In other words, sounds awful. Love when neither side can succeed unless they use the others as a stepping stone. Nagito Komaeda. Yes, if we're joined, then they'll fall apart. And same the other way around. I think I see where you're going with this. Something like this, right? How far is a person allowed to take advantage of others to find happiness? Right? See, it's all just a metaphor. If you don't fight, it automatically becomes their victory and you'll lose. However, if you fight and win, it means they'll fall apart. It's nasty either way. However, the answer is obvious. Yes. She wasn't willing to stick to her love until the end. That would show the limits of their relationship. In our case, she just let the other pair of lovers win. Like, okay, it sure is a good thing that scenarios like this don't happen in real life. However, this was love she couldn't abandon. She couldn't abandon the chances of victory either, so she had no option but to fight. Yes, yes, yes. I guess I really am just looking for an excuse. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Still, it doesn't make it any easier to step over someone else for the sake of your own love. I wonder what Kyrie thinks. Given that she probably had to step over. Well, no, she didn't have to step over Asumu, but like she did kind of, hope that Asumu would die and then she could get together with Rudolph, and that did actually happen. So, in that case, will you give up on your lover? That's. I can tell you one thing for certain: doing that will be even more painful. You'll be forced to crawl through hell for the rest of your life. I was just 6, so I don't remember much about that time. However, I found Mom's notebooks among her belongings after she died. Oh, cool. Was it a diary? So yeah, we do get some information here, and we assume this is real information and not a metaphor. It was more of a collection of her thoughts. It was much vaguer than a diary would have been. I found it and read it right after she passed away. But I needed to wait until I'd grown for several years before I could understand it. Yeah, you were 6. I see. So did it speak of Kyrie's worries about her marriage? It was practically a book of curses. It cleared up several questions I'd vaguely felt back when I was 6. Did you not know about Asumu? I think Oni-chan talked to me about her when no one was around, but it wasn't something a kid who wasn't even in elementary school could understand. After all, I never even saw a picture of her. Mum had sent all the pictures with Asumu-chan in them to Oni-chan, leaving none behind in the house. Asumu-san. To Ange and to Badler, who only rarely came home, Kyrie's smile never faltered. If she hadn't written her thoughts to that notebook, Ange probably never would have known them. Since her school days, Rudolph had been particularly popular with girls, a typical playboy. Be bold, over the top, yet just a little bit gentle towards women. He probably kept that formula for being popular with women inside his head. In their attempts to win off Rudolph's favor, several women tried various seductive tricks. Rudolph probably enjoyed that part the most. Since the beginning, love had been a game to Rudolph. He never thought of it as a trial and error process to find a single life partner. Yep. Okay. He may be my father, but he was an awful man. But at the same time, Dad must have looked down on those toad-eating girls. Mom, who was very aware of her self-worth and extremely intelligent, must have stood out. Though even that must have been due to Kyrie's more skillful methods of catching Rudolph's gaze. Yeah, maybe. Mom was smart in a lot of ways. Great. So basically, he's an asshole. Great. What made Kyrie different from the other women was that she could support Rudolph as a business partner. So Rudolph slowly began to accept her as a partner. Just like some people say men don't belong in the kitchen, there's also a sense that women should stay out of financial affairs. Okay. It's normal for men to foot the bill from women. Yeah. Kyrie viewed money from a man's perspective. Okay. When Mom was still a woman, I thought she enjoyed seeing Dad pampered by all those other girls. So she would rather have been his only one, instead of his number one. Yeah, though she served as Dad's right hand, she slyly got rid of the other women in the shadows. She killed them, not really, but yeah. She was one of Rudolph-san's groupies. No, not even that. She was just one of his fans. Did you ever talk with her? Of course. I knew her well. Ever since the very beginning, before Rudolph-san even knew her name. I'm sure she was quite intelligent herself. And cunning. I tried to use my intelligence to stick out, but she did it in the exact opposite way. By being stupid? I mean, she was good at triggering his protective instinct. Out of all the girls who came to flatter and flirt with him, only she stood out with every action she made, unlike the flashy girls Rudolph-san had tired of. See, like, this doesn't, this doesn't I was going to say this doesn't necessarily impact the plot, but it might, because if this story really is about the fact that Battler is not Asumu's child, then this might actually be relevant. If by birth Rudolph decided to need a woman who could stay quiet and soothe him, without making him think about anything complicated, that woman was Asumu. I'm ruthless and intellectual, rational and economical. In a plank of Carniettes, whatever, situation, I would push the other person off without hesitation. I thought that was the kind of partner suitable for him. But whether that ruthless made a reliable business, things might disturb Rudolph deeply outside of business. Yeah, he began to yearn for a quiet, warm acceptance. Asumu satisfied all those conditions. She would never talk about anything complicated. Even if she did, she would just shake her head to say she didn't know. Or she'd care more for him physically than anyone else, quietly putting blank on him, saying, yeah, okay. Yes, I did get the position of his business partner. Before I knew it, Rudolph-san had grown a need for a mental partner, someone who could heal his heart. I foolishly claimed to be the intellectual one. I never noticed. And then Uncle Rudolph married Aunt Asumu. Yes, that's right. She stole him away by sleeping with him. He had slept with a lot of women. At that point, he wasn't the kind of guy to let his emotions be captured by women just because he slept with her. After all, sleeping with women was just a game to him. That's why I used something other than my body to attract his attention. Now the question is, are we ever going to see what Asumu looks like? Or are we not going to, and because they can't be bothered, or we're not going to because she's actually one of the other characters here and, like, it's a big secret. A pride as a woman. Okay. Before long, they were both pregnant. Oh. Asuma-san told Dad about it right away, but Mum did the opposite. So she was afraid that the pregnancy would threaten her position as his business partner. Apparently Mum didn't eat much at the time, so her period was often irregular. Because of that, it took a really long time before she realized she was pregnant. Did she notice? It was after Asuma-san suddenly moved into Dad's family register. Mum learned about her pregnancy after that and plotted several times to split Asumu and Dad apart, but even though Asuma-san always acted like such an airhead, once she got her hands on Rudolph-san, she didn't let go. Why should I care? Please stay out of our way, she'd say. And this coming from that little girl who'd curl up into a ball every time she got on a bus. At that point I realized she had been the truly cunning one. Yes, even her fear of vehicles wasn't out of a lie to catch Rudolph-san's sympathy. Okay, I'm not sure about that. My apologies. I must be boring you. Oh, no. At the very least, I wanted him to acknowledge the child I would give birth to. It seems as though Rudolph-san was prepared to do that. He made sure there was a hospital waiting for me, and even though, yep. So what happened to the other child? After that, the tale I can't even bear even to tell. Like, did she have a miscarriage or something? Or is the whole thing that, like, actually it's going to be Battler and the children were swapped and... How's the witch hunt today, Gabby? We're talking about, like, infidelity, I guess. Both Asumu and I had the same delivery day. Okay, of course you did. So yeah, what happened to the child? I forgot. Oh yeah, that child was a stillbirth. Okay, that's what happened. Yeah, yeah. Hasumi-san gave birth to Oni-chan, but Mum didn't give birth to anyone. Even Mum's final hope of being left to spot as Dad's second wife was destroyed. Despite that, Mum was able to act in a very friendly way towards Oni-chan. It was definitely a shock for me. She must have despised Battler. Probably. If Asumi-san had a stillbirth, then Mum had given... Yeah, anyway. Well, I mean, listen, we do know in the red that Battler is not Asumu's child, so... Who fucking knows? There's just one thing I regret. You mean the pregnancy? No, no. It's my arrogance I regret. Rudolph-san is mine now, so I'm completely safe. I'll never lose to that Asumu kid. When she was busy screaming her head off in buses and planes, I was capable of properly managing the arrangements and expenditures for them. And so I was overly confident that I was the one Rudolph-san trusted the most. I just realized, okay, so she's not good with vehicles, and Battler isn't either. Very cute, but also Battler is. We know in the red that Battler is not Asumu's child, so fucking who knows. Did you know love doesn't end when it bears fruit? If you don't harvest it as well, the romance you started with will never amount to anything. You need to think about that yourself, Jessica-chan. If you make it bear fruit without harvesting it, it can sometimes grow rotten. Bugs will often gather around it. Harvest love. I'm lucky. My hell ended after 18 years. So I'll never misjudge myself again. That person is mine. I won't let him get away. I won't let him out of my sight. I'm grateful to my master for giving me that chance. My certain willpower in not giving up on that man, no matter what, was answered with a miracle. Maybe I'm also a witch. You know, miracles only appear for those who can bring them to completion themselves. Asumi's death had not been a murder of any sort. However, Kyrie constantly cursed her and hoped for her death. And finally, on the 18th year, she'd built up the determination to kill her with her own hands. And she actually had gotten a blade to do it with her teeth with, of course. That was when the miracle occurred. Okay, that's fucked up. It's like I thought, you know, Kyrie was cool, but she's like, yeah, I was going to murder his wife so I could take him for myself. That wasn't even close to a miracle. Huh? After all, if she hadn't died, I would have killed her. In other words, she was fated to die no matter what. The miracle is that even though she did die, I didn't have to get my hands dirty. That's all. Okay. Okay. Infidelity, murder, adultery. This is Umineko, everyone. I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a little advice and I've scared you. Blame the weather. I don't know what your love has been like, Jessica-chan, but if you have a rival and neither is willing to back down, you can't let yourself become complacent. If you do, you'll end up like me. For the sake of love, a woman should be prepared to kill at least once in her life. I can tell you that all women in the world who call themselves mothers have been through that. After all, women who don't do that are chewed to bits by the others and forced to crawl through the hell of envy and regret for the rest of their lives. My hell lasted 18 years. Yeah. Sure, of course. Okay, I need to head back soon. Let's keep what we've called this talked about in a secret, okay? Good luck, Jessica-chan. Sounds complicated, but don't lose. It's not every day I get to act as a mentor. What is it, Jessica-chan? Oh, shit. Huh. Evil grey eyes of dead. I'm killing my emotion, killing for the sake of love. Just so you know, I didn't strike you unawares out of cowardice. I hoped to end it with a single painless strike before you realized what was happening. Didn't I tell you that I've lived through the hell of jealousy? I've been nearly burnt a couple of times already. Of the 7 reasons you might have had for lying, which chessboard theory led me to, this was the worst case scenario. Not bad. I should have expected it from you, Aunt Kyrie. Why? You were planning to kill me from the beginning. It didn't matter who it was. How horrible. It's what you said that gave me the boost I needed. Thanks a lot. Incredible. I see that you are your father's daughter. Have you taken up boxing too? Please don't resist, Aunt Kyrie. Just one strike to the head. I won't let you feel a thing. Here I go. Feel free to hate me. However, just like you, I cannot back down. I can't let love into half-baked either. What are you talking about? What is that expression? Wait, wrong button. Someone tell me! Flame upgrade. Mass upgrade. Armor piercing upgrade. Renault. Yes, this is a nightmare. If you want, I'll wake you up right now. Just one strike. Don't move. acknowledge it. This is the nightmare. I'll wake you up. Just one strike. Ah, I get it. It's Leviathan, the demon of envy. Oh, right. It's Leviathan, the demon of envy. She can't hit she can't hit Kyrie because Kyrie is already feeding envy. I don't know. Leviathan of envy right here. You're already inside a nightmare. Why not have a friend from my nightmares show up? My friend from the hell of envy. Thanks for showing up just in the nick of time. It's too early to thank me. She's not down yet. So yeah, once again, this is the... No, I'm like, you know, this is the answer to that part where Leviathan tries to kill Kyrie, and Kyrie is like, I will beat you because I've already mastered envy. It's all just a metaphor. Oh, such a luck. She's immortal thanks to a contract with one of the great demons. Because of Allowed! That's why she's immortal. Incredible. So she has sold her soul to the demons for the sake of love. How could she make so many contracts with these great demons? I'm so jealous. But there's only seven. I thought there's only 7 deadly sins, Rob, and they're all the demon states, and we've seen all of them. Hang on 1 second. Whatever. Hopefully that's all good. room may be a closed room. It may leave us with no measure of escape. However, even you can't break into this room. That's what a closed room is. On for now. Master still in the pits. What are you telling me? The next thing you're going to tell me that fucking that Kyrie has hollow purple now? I envy you. You're gonna remember my warning, succeed in love and walk a beautiful life, right? Huh. I envy you. You'll get to live through the most beautiful time in a woman's life, all 18 years longer than I did. It's useless, girl. This wasn't even 0.2% of the time Kyrie being jealous. Oh my goodness, this is, like I said, it's all just a metaphor. Beatrice's definition of a closed room. What the heck is that? This reads, closed room will be troublesome. It is impossible for a human to carry out a closed room murder. Only magic can do that. Do you truly understand magic? You will not be able to crush it. But I was gonna say, but the magic is the answer to everything is love, right? Come, Jessica, believe in love and show us a miracle. Remember, Rob. Nox's Decalogue is a completely different rule set. Beatrice doesn't use that. Beatrice uses the Beatrice rules, whatever those are. Beatrice never. Oh, actually, no. I mean, yeah. Anyway, good God, this game. This is my checkmate. Construction completed. Closed room murder. My, I do believe that's valid. Permeation upgrade. Tag transmission. Huh? If you love the hell of envy so much, then burn. Burn in the flames of envy, for all time. There are probably some things can be learned from envy. However, it's nothing to be praised, and going through it is no one's duty. Seems you are too proud after all, Aunt Kyrie. closed room murder. I'll let you take care of the mess. Is that good enough, demons? Yes, well done, Jessica. Your love is the real deal. Hankan, I love you. I can't give up. That's why I've shown you how I feel. I didn't do something wrong, did I? Chloe's room murder just now was wonderful enough to fascinate even a witch like myself. Jessica had used magic to kill Kyrie, who had holed up inside a closed room. In that instant, Jessica had constructed a closed room murder, had it acknowledged by the demons, and raised it to the level of magic. Whatever the fuck that means. This is a weird game. Meanwhile, probably Erica again for going to the guest house. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, it's the mansion. Right, okay. Rosa. Alright. Have to make use of that and turn the discussion in the direction I want. I have to find almost 100 million yen by March. I suppose my great commitment. Burden I helped to uphold toward that man's business, right? So yeah, right, of course. We're going back into the love theme that she's got whichever person that Rose is with at this point. Now I'm not sure anymore. If I can pay off my debt, will he call me again? Still, you're Maria's father. Okay, no, this is actually Maria's dad. Yep. Please come and see her, if only just once. Love is quite a difficult thing to stick to, isn't it? Oh, okay. So now Cannon has to kill Rosa and got it. Okay. So yeah, so nobody's murders have actually happened. I mean, also, I mean, no, I guess they have also basically explained that these murders are happening in different fragments, aka different timelines, so it doesn't actually affect what's happening here. But is this but is this part of the game? Do people still have to die in this game, in this fragment, as part of Battler's proving that he's understood this, or is this? I don't fucking know. This is such a weird episode. Just everybody's using their magic bullshit to show how love can be a motive for murder, basically, and how love can make magic happen because if you love someone, you can just believe things that aren't necessarily true or believe things with zero proof. I think that's what this episode is trying to get at. The reason you are currently in pain is because of love, Rosa-sama. Am I wrong? Maria's father wanted you to be the co-signer on the loan, and you accepted, Rosa-sama. Well, so like, okay, you see, yeah, I guess, we're learning bits. I don't know how relevant these are, but we are learning these bits. You're a very wise person, Rosa-sama. You wouldn't have become a co-signer without thinking about the consequences. I haven't yet moved to his family register, but I thought of the man I would soon marry as my partner. If he couldn't borrow the money without my name, I figured that helping him out with my responsibility as his future wife. It's ironic. I tried to forget that man several times. But forgetting him doesn't get rid of that debt. This be the hell Kyrie-sama spoke of. Since you bring up Kyrie-san, her story is like a wish or a dream to me. Though she had her man stolen from her, she persevered for 18 years. She never felt despair, and instead continued to support Rudolph, keeping her head down and waiting for a miracle. Maria is still 9 years old. I've only waited as long as the first half of Kyrie's 18 years. If I gave up after just this, she would laugh at me. In a sense, I'm a ghost. I'm already dead. I'm just living on without noticing. A ghost waiting for eternity for a person who will never come. That's right. That day when I naively said I would support his dream, I was probably already dead. I guess that really was a regretful day in the end. I have dreams. I want to go overseas. I'll fly out of this tiny country, make it big, and come back to you. That takes me back. Oh, jeez, poor Rosa. I mean, it doesn't excuse her abusing her child, but you know, the whole thing is that basically everybody in the Ushiramiya family has lived through hell, pretty much.
up to me to kill that seed or make it bud. However, if I left it rot here in my chest, that poison will surely torment me forever. And that is the most fearsome torture in the world, even for us 1,000-year-old witches. Now I'm gonna kill Rosa, and Shannon's gonna kill someone else, and... Pardon me. I've heard that in your youth, you loved to lie on that sofa. Okay, so at least she doesn't have to fight back. Sleep well, Rosa-sama. Your hell has ended. Man, if you take this whole thing too seriously, this is tragic as shit. It's just like a, you know, if you love someone and they don't love you back, you're just living through hell, and maybe it's just better to fucking kill yourself, unalive yourself. Maria? Ow. Epilepsy warning. Damn. You dare kill my mama? Okay. Sure, why not? You dare to kill my mama? Right, now you have to fight against the 9-year-old. I hope you're happy. One of the two great witches of Magier, Maria Saucier, Maria. She was just an apprentice. The powers hidden within her and the even dangerous at the height of her strength. Maria died, though Rosa may have been the Black Witch. She was also the vessel of the mother she couldn't help but love. Her anger at having that stolen from her was near madness. I don't want to kill past my quota, but I'll clean up the messes I've made. No, not Sakataro. What you? Diplomatic immunity. I won't let you target Maria or me. Damn. There you are. How long have you been there? I won't let anyone bully Maria. Damn it. Like, imagine if the Ushiromias were real, and then they're just, like, reading this, like, fan fiction of a fan fiction of a fan fiction of them, and they're just like, what the fuck? I won't let you get away now. I won't forgive you. The sin of stealing my mama away. I'll kill you. Just like Mama killed all of them. I'll kill you without mercy. Well, yes, Maria is supposed to look creepy when she does the creepy smirk. That's kind of the idea. Maria, don't overdo it. Yeah, I won't overdo it. I'll be a little more gentle than Mama was. Who is it? Pardon me, Maria-sama. In accordance with the contract with Sapara-sama and Furfur-sama, I come for your life. Oh, okay, that works. Shannon, don't get in my way! Pointless, Shannon. I won't let anyone target Maria. Yes, I don't intend to target her in any way. I will simply protect myself. Oh, she's just gonna try and like make Maria get crushed to death. Yeah, yeah. Things are getting crazy. I mean, like in a way, this isn't. This is about just as crazy as the kind of shit that happened in like episode 2 and 3, but still. Nesson. First, can't escape. I see. This is a closed room. This might be perfect for that wannabe detective who's trying to deny Vito's magic. Checkmate, Maria-sama. Is that acceptable? Yeah, it's fine. Crush me. And here it comes. Alright, who does Beatrice have to murder now? Is she gonna have to kill Badler? But no, I mean, that would be very fun, though. Alright, who's the dramatic foil for Beatrice? Someone who thinks that they're loving someone they don't really understand. Let's see, where are we? Okay, it's not Zahi. Okay, makes sense. I mean, yeah. They had a connection last episode, so. Oh, no, this isn't. I was gonna say this is new music, but it's not. I mean, it's like I said, Rob. Like, no, the demons aren't really pulling the strings either. No one's pulling the string. Technically, the person who was pulling the strings of this whole thing is Battler, Wizard Battler. Battler with the long coat. He's the one who is telling this entire story, basically to show that he's understood whatever the fuck the plot of Umineko is. So, yeah. Oh, it's the spirit mirror. Dad, Mum, I've always been so ignorant and unable to support my husband. I wait here alone because I love my husband. However, I think love means being close to one another. Though I understand logically that staying here is the best way I can help him. I still feel wretched for doing it. It's tough, isn't it? Waiting for the sake of love. Because of your love for your husband, you couldn't bear to be made to care for an unfamiliar child. Ah, okay, so that's how they're doing it. So he's saying like, yeah, I remember you had that story about not being able to accept that child, and me, I have the problem that Battler is unable to accept me because I'm not the Beatrice he loves. Just like that baby wasn't the baby that came from you, so it wasn't the baby you love, and I'm also like a baby. Yes, metaphors. So you murdered a baby you didn't know on that day 19 years ago. I will not hold that sin against you. Vito didn't know much about the details of Battler's birth. However, but she knew about the fragment from the previous game. Maybe there was a chance that Battler was the baby the Nazi had pushed off a cliff 19 years ago. Okay, yep, like us. From Vito's perspective, Nazi was an enemy who probably forced Battler to live a painful life. You killed that baby, protect your husband's blood for the sake of your love for your husband. So also for the sake of love, I will not hold it against you. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Get out! This is my room! Therefore, please do not hold it against me when I kill you for the sake of my love. Both pairs of lovers have shown their determination. I do not think that my love for Batlaslan is inferior to theirs. Just as I will not blame you for your sin of 19 years ago, I will not blame myself for this sin. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so she's still weak to the mirror? Interesting. What? What is this? That is surprising. You could touch spiderwebs without trouble, but you can't handle the spirit mirror. Even I don't have a clue what's happening. What in the world? Could that have something to do with the fact they tried to get the spirit mirror last time to escape from Beatrice? I don't know. Why is the mirror? It's because you're an evil witch. This miraculous spirit mirror repels all creatures of evil. Don't point it at me. I do not know who you are. All I know is that you tried to kill me. And I know that you are a creature of evil, fearful of this spirit mirror. Begone, evil one. She should start doing like a Miko dance. Go, return to the world from which you came, evil one. Like what is this? Vitari wa pretty cure. I, Ushiro Miyanatsui, do not fear evil in the least. Alright, where's her second wind then? I was born because I love Batman, and I want him to love me back. And so, I cannot lose here. Alright, which one is this? Lucifer of Pride, right here. Okay. You dare mock me by choosing a single old mirror to be my first target in so long. Huh? Lucifer-san. Beatrice-sama, you must complete your trial. She's getting away. Thank you, Lucifer-san. Prepare yourself. You show me a Nazi heat. enough. Lucifer, do it. As you wish. This trial must be accomplished without imploring the help of any other. But maybe this is an exception? A parent mother is one. To answer your question, Rob, I've got no idea whether the spirit mirror will work. We don't have the part where Ange talks to the audience and says, "Hey, what is the spirit mirror anyway?" And then she's like, "This is a metaphor for this plot concept." Oh, that's cute. Okay, so he sent her over. Oh, that's nice. Do you really have to scam me like that as soon as the first twilight? My apologies. Sorry I didn't listen to your instructions. Instructions? Well, I didn't stay in my room. In that case, I should apologize too. I should have chosen my words more carefully. No, you did nothing wrong, Father. I mean, Butler, son. It's okay. Call me whatever you like. Huh? True, the older you may have called me just Battler. First time I'd have tried to force you to speak to me that way. But that would be pointless. You're Beto, but you're still you. You can call me whatever you want. Battler, son. Sure, that works great. Can't say being called father is really my thing, considering I'm only like 18. Yes. I heard from Zapara and Thorfur. Seems a strange game has started. Yes, sorry for getting involved all on my own. No problem. That reckless way you're leaping before you understand is really like you. And, well, I've heard about the theme of this game. Apparently you're supposed to play it in pairs. Oh, yes, that is correct, Lord Battler. If you can succeed in winning through our trial, we will bless the pair of you and bestow a miracle and magic on you. Okay. We've been stuck with each other for a long time now. Nothing wrong with playing this sort of game every now and then. Welcome to our trial, Lord Battler. So what, does he fail the love trial? Is that why he ends up like being chained and stuck in the dungeon and the dungeon slash the mansion slash being forced to marry Erica? I've already done my part. Go and check if you want. Oh, hello? What do you think of the tale so far? Oh, good God. Okay. He cleverly tried to distract us with this love trial stuff. But exactly 6 people have died setting up the first twilight. Impressive. Oh, you're right. I hadn't realized. That's simply because the number of lovers just happened to be 6. The fact that it matched the numbers of the first twilight was half coincidence, half design. It's a bit more interesting that way. Feels more like fate. So yeah, this is what they're saying. Like, it doesn't have to be like this, but it's more interesting if you write the story that way. Humans have the bad habit of taking 2 meaningless phenomena and trying to link them together. Trying to make things seem like fate. Fate is a trick of books. So normally I try to skip over all the love and illusion, call them unnecessary, useless scenes of the mystery. Indeed, that's what I'm saying. But Okanogi-san disagreed with that way of thinking. He thought that by looking at things without love that way, at looking at things without love that way, truth could never be reached. Ah, you mean President Okanogi's catchphrase? Without love, it cannot be seen? Did he say that? I don't remember. Yeah, that. I put aside my anger at the person who killed my family in a story, and even speak with respect for Madame Hachijo, the one who wrote with this tale, then there must be a point to this depiction. After all, she's used up all these pages talking about love and trials. In other words, those are the themes and keywords of this tale. Like, this is really, really fucking meta. Oh, and there are many who claim that all words not written in red ink are not worth reading. It's not a child affair, and you have read the black letters as well. Oh, good God. Good God, Ryokishi07. Stories are written because the writer has something they want to communicate, and some writers feel it is unrefined to lay everything out too directly. All of this is about how you'll never reach the truth without love has shown up many times in the works before this one. This new work makes that even more striking. It means that the one thing the writer wanted to tell most, the thing that they wanted us to think about, it means that is the one thing the writer wanted us to tell the most, the thing we wanted us to think about the most. Yeah. Okay, yeah, basically, this is what I'm saying. This is why it's like, everything's kind of a metaphor. They're even making a joke about, like, they are making a metaphor about the fact that this is all, this seems like all extraneous bullshit and kind of drags on too long. It's like, yes, it might be, but also consider why would he put that into episode 6? Then clearly it's here for a reason. Yep. Yep. At this point, he's basically writing an analysis of his own story within his story. Yep. Then in that one. Yep. Then this is just right now. Umineko contains an essay about Umineko in it. The tale you wrote keeps talking about love. However, that's not Maria One-chan's viewpoint or Beatrice's viewpoint. It's Hachijo Toya's viewpoint. Correct. That is what I wanted to tell. It is my own sort of answer. Answer? Then all of the crimes 12 years ago were a trial of love started by strange demons? Ridiculous. I didn't come here to read a romance novel you wrote. So what I want to know about is the truth you've claimed to reach. Yeah, exactly. I didn't come here to read romance. I didn't want to read a love story. I wanted to read a fucking murder mystery, Ryokishi07. Foolish child, man. After reading all of this, do you still not understand? No, I understand. I just don't know why we have to, why it has to go on for so long. If one has reached Beatrice's truth, they can create a new tale, whoever they are. If you understand the point of Umineko, then you too can make your own variation of Umineko, just like what I'm doing right now. So there'll be more and more endless witches. Yes, and these many endless witches will add to Beatrice's catbox tale. The more they add to it, the more people will read the truth. Like, is he basically just saying that he wants everybody to start making their own Umineko fanfiction after this? Like, is that what he's saying? Or is that thinking too deep into it? When that happens, the very first endless witch, Beatrice, will finally be rewarded for writing such long letters, packing them in bottles, and throwing them into the sea. hate to admit it, but I'm starting to think that your tale has some truth or hint in it. I already have my own ideas. However, that's no more than looking with a single eye. Unless I accept a different viewpoint from my own and look at things from more than one angle, I'll never be able to see the truth in 3 dimensions. That's my interpretation of without love it cannot be seen. Very well, child. Perhaps as the final survivor of the Ushuramiya family, it was fated that you would find the truth and become an endless witch. I exist only as a guidepost to awaken you as the true successor. Ange Beatrice. Sometimes I still don't understand what she's saying. However, she knows something, and maybe she actually has reached the truth as she claims. In other words, I didn't even learn the truth even after reading the true messages, bottle, whatever, and now I'm reading tale after tale filled with hints. So these hints are challenges, provoking me to think. Indeed. Perfect. I'll find this truth you say you've reached. It's a good thing I came here. As it is, I invited you here because you hadn't yet found a child of man. You just kept theory crafting about like who was the villain and who was the murderer and yada 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 and if magic is real or not, and you completely missed the entire thought that this whole story is a metaphor from metaphors of metaphors. So I came here to try and spell it out more directly because the readers are fucking idiots and kept trying to misinterpret what I was trying to say. So the first twilight has finally happened. Everything so far has made me so sleepy. You have some sleep in your eye. Where? Mind your own business. As you wish, let's begin. First off, first twilight. And that sounds like a good spot for me to have some dinner. Because I'm probably gonna get hungry otherwise. Alright, save. Save. And I'll see you guys if I feel like going back to it today.